Baking soda. Baking soda, also known as sodium bicarbonate, is the leavening ingredient used in baked goods, meaning that it is responsible for the cookie's rise. So, what exactly is baking soda? Baking soda is an alkaline compound, meaning that it needs to be combined with an acid in order to create that rising effect. When combined, it produces a gas known as carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide then causes these small, tiny bubbles to form inside the batter, which makes the overall cookie rise. Carbon dioxide can also be produced when this mixture of sodium bicarbonate and an acid is exposed to temperatures higher than 80 degrees Celsius or 176 degrees Fahrenheit. You can compare this to a cookie, which is generally baked at 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sucrose, or sugar, is made up of two connected molecules. These are glucose and fructose. When sugar is heated up, these molecules split apart and form inverted sugar, with this as glucose and this as fructose.
Now, to show our sugar turning from sugar into inverted sugar and caramel, we're going to take a cup of sugar and add it to the hot plate, and then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of water and add that to the hot plate as well. And then we're going to have it on a medium to low heat, and then we'll see it turn from sugar into inverted sugar and caramel.
It's important to know that caramelization only happens with white sugar. Brown sugar melts at a lower temperature and turns into butterscotch. This is why recipes call for a specific type of sugar, or sometimes a mix of both, because they'll change how the pastry turns out in the end. Try this next time you're making cookies. How does it change if you add more white sugar, or only use brown sugar?
Our next ingredient is eggs, which are vital to the cookie making process. Eggs provide the main source of protein in the cookie.
Liliana, what are proteins?
Great question. Proteins are large, complex molecules made of amino acids. In raw eggs, they look like loosely tangled strings. The strings uncoil and retangle with the other ingredients when you add heat energy. Think of how scrambled eggs go from runny to solid. That happens inside of your cookie at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. This helps the cookie set and go from squishy dough to yummy solid cookie. You can also change the structure of proteins through changes in pH, which is how you make ceviche. The acidity of the lemon juice cooks the fish in a similar way that heat cooks eggs. But trust me, don't just squeeze some lemon juice on your eggs in the morning and call them completely cooked. It doesn't go how you think it will. Raw eggs might contain salmonella bacteria, and you could get infected. Over 1 million people in the US do per year. These bacteria die off at about 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So now that our cookies are solid, what comes next? At 310 degrees Fahrenheit, the Maillard reaction takes place. It's really many small chemical reactions that occur when proteins and reducing sugars break down and rearrange. They're transformed by the heat. What results is a beautiful brown color to your food and distinctive aroma and flavor compounds. The Maillard reaction takes place in cookies, bread, meat, coffee beans, and even beer. Without eggs, meaning less protein, that browning and change in flavor won't happen. An experiment you could try at home is try making cookies with eggs and without eggs to see the difference.